What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boys over here at Three Man Weave. I'm your lovely co-host, ZD, in the building with CJ. We coming at you guys live, man. It's a Wednesday, April 8th. And CJ, we messed up last time, man. Technical difficulties got the best of us.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, man. We're going to do a little two-parter today. We're going to go through the Wild West. We're going to break down the playoff picture and what it looks like if it were to start today. But CJ, how are you feeling, bro? How are you doing? We're here, man, like you said. We're always shooting. We're always coming with the energy. It doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't get recorded, we're still going to do it. How
yeah,
you feeling,
bro.
bro?
Obviously not the greatest after the technical difficulties we had on Monday, but we're here. Like ZD said, we're always gonna show up and give you all that great energy. So excited. Like I always tell you, anytime we could chop it up about hoops is always a good time for me. And we're able to get back up even when we, make mistakes and all these growing pains. Like I was telling you earlier that we've been having to go through. Just it's a testament to us and just being able to show up all the time, because stuff like that can really unmotivate people and have them not wanting to do it and this and that. But we're always going to be here, and I always appreciate your time. And that was my fault. I'm sorry that I didn't look over everything, but it won't happen again, brother. I promise. But I'm doing great now.
Okay. It's okay. Good, bro. That's good to hear. I think we gotta, I told you before we got on, I'm like, we should just split it up. The people gonna get a couple episodes out of this. But I'll be honest with you, man. I gotta talk about us getting pissed on. I don't know. I mean, we went on live on assist.
Yep.
You saw it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 44-21, if I'm not mistaken, after the first quarter. Lakers versus Thunder. This was a couple days ago. Obviously, we did play last night. We'll get into that later. But CJ, what were your initial thoughts, man? Seeing Lou Dort hit those, 3-4 threes. Obviously, Shea got it going a little bit later in this game, and then the injuries, which I'll talk about later too. But how did you feel about this matchup?
Man, it was definitely didn't expect that outcome. Like I was telling you, whenever we were on when we were live on assist, didn't expect this. Obviously, whenever we're able to get 3-4 threes from Lou Dort in the first quarter, it kind of already gives us a huge lead to kind of just maintain it. And I mean, from that point on, it was kind of like that. And then obviously, like you said, injuries kind of hit Shaw right then and there, and then we lost Lou Dort. So back-to-back plays that happening. I remember when we were live, like, we don't know if that's ever happened before, but Lou Dort ended up coming back, so that's a good sign. But it's just more so just being able to, I think I said it obviously in our last pod that, it got scrapped, but just keeping our foot on the pedal, you know what I mean? Just keeping the intensity up, because that's one of those games to where, y'all lose y'all's best player. We're already up by, 30, 40, whatever it was. Could have been not easy, but could have been a game of runs and momentum, and could have shifted. But, we were just able to keep our foot on the gas pedal and just, maintain that lead for the whole game. So obviously wasn't expecting that game, especially what Luka was able to do all the month of March, and just seeing how he's been playing. Just didn't expect that outcome, and obviously didn't expect for him to get injured. So yeah, it was.
You were saying it throughout the game. CJ kept saying on the live, "Oh, Austin Reeves, Luka, they look hurt," and both of those guys ended up getting hurt. I think Isaiah Joe had another great game. Second quarter burst there. What I'm most impressed with the Thunder is their relentlessness. They don't take their foot off the gas pedal. And that's something that the Lakers have been not necessarily doing over the last month of March. Obviously, we had one of the best months in the entire year, so I was very happy with that. But we are prone to those types of excuses where we kind of give up early. We were down 20, and I kept telling you, I hope this game doesn't get to my 40-point rule. Right? I got my 40-point rule. I'm like, this game is getting out of hand. I don't know, bro. I was more disappointed with our lack of effort and energy, especially on the defensive end. I feel like we're a much better defensive. It's one thing to not hit your shots, but yeah, man, Luka had 12 points in this game. Austin Reeves didn't finish with much either. LeBron, I think, had 13 in that game. It was just a bad game. I think Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, we lost in 2017 by 46 points. This was our third largest margin of loss in our franchise's history, which is pretty crazy to say that. Obviously, the Lakers are so just well known and respected across the league. We don't end up losing that many games in this fashion, but I think it just speaks to the way that the Thunder are playing right now, and they've been playing this way the entire season. And I know I have them coming out of the West and winning the finals. I know they're ready for another championship push, and that's kind of one of my playoff storylines, man. I feel like watching the Thunder try to repeat and win again is going to be interesting. But yeah, I left that game feeling pretty nauseous. Unfortunately, seeing our two main guys go down, it kind of puts us in a big bind. But shout out AJ Mitchell, Lou Dort, Shea had a great game. Definitely showed up Luka. I know you guys are going to want to talk about that. Luka versus Shea. Shea won the day. There's not really much else I can say about that, but I think he deserves to be the MVP in my eyes. Now with Wembanyama's injury, we saw it the other day. I'm praying for Wemby. I hate to see that.
Yeah.
But and that's another thing, CJ, like the games, I don't know. We're going to have to see what Adam Silver does with that. It's besides the point, but that the Luka Shea matchup I was looking forward to, and it didn't really amount to anything. So, the Thunder won this game in what, 2 quarters? CJ, I think they were up by over 30 after the second quarter. So, they're just pushing along, man. I don't really know what else to say. Even the follow-up game, the Cooper Flag game, the game after, I don't know if it was on a back-to-back or it might have been 2 days later, but Cooper Flag had 45 points against us. LeBron had, a pretty crazy game as well. I think there's a lot on his shoulders right now, dealing with the fact that Luka and AR are out, and he's going to be the initiator. Luke Kennard had a triple-double. He finished with a career high in rebounds, also a career high in assists. We've now forced Luke Kennard to be our main creator, which is not something I'm super proud of. I just think this game was more about Cooper Flag, man, and what he's been able to do. And I said it on a couple pods ago. He's the rookie of the year. I asked you on the last podcast that people aren't going to see, but I'm going to let the people know he changed his mind.
I did.
It's no longer Con Knuckle.
Yep.
It's Cooper Flag. I think that performance was what did it for me, seeing him perform in that fashion against it was so cool to see a 41-year-old and a 19-year-old go up against each other, man. And I didn't watch the full game, but seeing them battle it out, I saw the ESPN notification that they were going back and forth. So that was a cool game to see. But we took another L in that one. It was a little bit closer of a game. It was pretty back and forth all game till the fourth quarter. The Mavericks started to break away. Jackson Hayes, I think we had Marcus Smart. There was a couple other people that have also been lingering with injuries. We're just not healthy. I don't know what more to say to y'all. This is going to be the reality moving forward for the next 3 to 4 weeks, and we're going to lose to teams like the Mavericks and the Jazz potentially coming up here in a second. I'm just not looking forward to it, man. So maybe you have a more somber, more happy feeling about the Thunder because they've been on a huge win streak since post All-Star break, bro. I think the Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets are top 3 in net rating post All-Star break. So
no, you said it, bro. Obviously, coming off that game we had against the Lakers, not yesterday, but a couple of days ago, we ended up going against the Jazz, and it was pretty much the same thing. Just they were down a lot of their starters, majority of their starters. They were running their second and third unit the whole time, and I think obviously the last pod I brought it up, but I think the spread was like 23.5 or something, and obviously I didn't really know all the circumstances and whatnot, but when you see that type of thing, it's kind of like an alarming point spread. And I think I brought it up last time as well. We were like a minus 27,000 favorite or something like that. So obviously the odd was in our favor, and we were able to handle business. And it's pretty much been like that the past not every single game, but when we're going against a team like the Jazz, I do expect that type of performance. So the fact that I was able to see that, just made it even better. And just seeing, like I was, the relentlessness and how pretty much we have all of our players are ready to play regardless of if you don't play the day before, or if you played 30 minutes before, you might take a seat back for these other guys to get some more minutes. And obviously the lineup is going to shorten when we get to the playoffs, but just the fact that we have these guys that are ready at any moment, I think it just speaks to the team that we are and what we've been able to do the whole season. So very much, I would say, feel a little different on my side, obviously, but if we were injured, Shea and J-Dub has obviously been injured, but any of our other players, I think it would be a little different for me as well. So, don't want to take that away and make it seem like, obviously what you've been going through is, especially, these past couple games is
Oh
a little
man,
different. But, no, just what we've been saying all year, just what the Thunder have been able to do all season, just being able to be dominant and, kind of maintaining the number one seed pretty much all season. So yeah, it's feel good, man. Just ready for the playoffs
yeah.
and ready to get that
You
going.
deserve to, bro. I mean, the Thunder might repeat winning the NBA Finals, which a couple years ago people just didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the best team of the decade. Dare I say that? We might clip that up, but I think the resume that they've built, even LeBron said it after that game, like it's a championship team. They are ready to repeat. So we'll see, man. We'll see how you guys fare in the playoffs, but we can get into that, man. We got to break down the Wild West because we're going to get into the East in our next episode. But yeah, CJ, I'll let you take it away because I personally think with the Clippers and how they've performed, that'll most likely be their opponent.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see in the play-in, but I believe in the Clippers, and I'm not a Clippers fan. I believe in Kawhi and Darius Garland. I think Ty Lue will be prepared and bring the right game plan. So we'll have to see how that matchup fares.
Yes, sir. Yeah, going right into it, like ZD said. So we're going to be talking about the Western Conference playoffs if they were to start at this very moment. So like ZD said, first round matchup for the number 1 and 8 seed, we have the Thunder versus Clippers. The regular season record for both of these teams at this moment, I believe the Thunder are 64 and 16. And the Clippers they are 41 and 38. So, obviously the Thunder have the best record in the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leads OKC with an average of 31.4 points per game and 6.5 assists per game. OKC is number 1 in defensive rating, allowing 106 points per 100 possessions, and have the best net rating right now. That actually got boosted up to a plus 12. So shout out to that. Clippers, on the other hand, like I said, they are 41 and 38, and they currently hold the 8th spot in the West. Kawhi Leonard leads LA with an average 28 points per game and 6.3 rebounds per game on 50% shooting. LA ranks 11th in the NBA in the NBA in offense rating with 116.6 and rank 18th in defense rating, allowing 115.2 points per 100. The Clippers rank 15th in the NBA in net rating as well with a plus 1.5. Some storylines for this series. OKC is 22 and 2 since the All-Star break, and their defense is allowing just 106 points per 100. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also has been pivotal all year, providing clutch play, top 3 in clutch scoring this year, and MVP caliber consistency. The Clippers are limping into the playoffs, but that's not without saying they won't go down without a fight. The Clippers started the season 14 games under 500 and have managed to claw their way back by holding the 9th best net rating in the NBA post All-Star break with a plus 5.4. I said it before, obviously in the last pod, and we'll probably mention that a lot this episode. But I think it's going to be, I won't count Kawhi out. I just think we have a better team than them. I'll have a lot more depth. Obviously, best defense team in the league. It's going to be hard for them to, really get a lot of their offense going unless, we have one of their role players pop off, hit a couple threes. But I think this is one of those series where we might gentleman sweep them. I'm not going to say we're going to sweep them. I think Kawhi is a good enough player for them to get at least one game. But I think this is going to be probably a 5-game series, and we end up getting a 4-1 series win in this.
Do you feel like the Clippers' depth is underrated with Benedict Mathurin and Lopez and Derrick Jones Jr. and a couple other guys? Do you feel that they don't necessarily get the love that they deserve? Obviously, the Thunder have overwhelming depth, probably the best in the league. But how do you feel about that and those matchups for the bench?
Yeah, no. Obviously, with Benedict Mathurin being on the team now, Derrick Jones Jr. has kind of shown us moments this season what he can still provide for a team and winning games and whatnot. I do believe that. Obviously they are very top heavy with Kawhi and DG now in the lineup, so I think that duo alone can kind of get them one game this series, but I just
Yeah, they can score 50. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that duo could drop 30 points each in the game
Each.
and kind of
Yeah.
take over for a game. But like you said, I just think with the depth that we have, it's just going to be very hard for them to maintain that for a full 7-game series. So I do believe they do have a pretty good depth for the most part. Kind of underrated, like you said. It doesn't really get noticed because of the season Kawhi is having, and then the moments that DG has popped off and shown us what he can still do in this league. It is super underrated, but I think this is a gentleman's sweep for the Thunder.
I'd have to agree. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm never going to take the Clippers in this one, but the Thunder are so dominant, and they've played them pretty closely this season, but they've ended up getting a couple W's versus them this year. I think that does factor in, obviously, to a playoff matchup. We've seen these teams, I think, play 3 or 4 times this year. So, yeah, I'm going to choose Mark Daigneault. I think Shea is obviously, you got to take the best player on the best team. Usually the NBA is pretty top heavy with series like this. Games can get drawn out, matchups change, but we know Shea's consistency is going to be there. So yeah, I got the Thunder as well. Next matchup though, this is the 2-7. So this is versus the Spurs and the Suns. Spurs are 16-19. They have the second best record in the NBA. Wemby leads San Antonio in points per game, blocks per game, and rebounds per game. Uh, the injury to him, that scares me. We'll get into that a little later, but we'll talk about that in a sec. The Spurs rank second in the NBA net rating this season with a plus 8.4. Update may not be updated to today, but yeah, they definitely still rank second in the NBA net rating over that span. San Antonio also ranks top 5 in offensive rating and defensive rating. Top 5 this season. So I want to say they are top 5 also post All-Star break as well. They've just been consistently good this year. So shout out to the Spurs, man. You guys deserve it. The Suns are 43-36, though. They're 7th in the West. Devin Booker leads Phoenix, averaging 25.8 points per game and 6 assists per game. Phoenix ranks 14th in the NBA net rating with a plus 1.5. The Suns also rank 10th in the NBA in defense, allowing 112.9 points per 100 possessions. So they are defensively stout. I think that's where they've shined this year. In my opinion, Matt Ishbia has done a really good job of bringing in glue guy, Colin Gillespie, Iguodaro, Okogie, Royce O'Neal, guys who can guard and hit threes. And I think that's been their North Star this season, is become a better defensive team, and the Suns have been able to do that. But storylines for this playoff series is, I think SA San Antonio is 22-3 since the All-Star break, and San Antonio ranks first in the NBA net rating with a plus 13.6. The Spurs have been the most dominant team since the All-Star break. Like we've been saying, no questions asked. Phoenix has put together a great season as well, ranking inside the top 10 in defensive rating. However, they need to make sure they can hit their threes versus the Spurs because they have nobody who can guard Wemby. The caveat to that is Wemby went down with that injury. Did you see? I think it was versus the Sixers.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? I don't know if he's going to be out for a while, but
yeah, I was about to say, I know obviously that's a huge thing for him and his whole MVP discussion, even defensive player of the year, right? That's kind of been the reason why he wasn't able to win last year. And it sucks seeing him go down. We don't ever want to see the best players in the league getting injuries like this and potentially missing time, but it sucks, bro, because he's been having an incredible season and he should definitely win defensive player of the year. But the fact that that is in jeopardy now, it sucks to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see what the NBA does on that. The Suns also ranked 29th in the NBA in true shooting percentage since the All-Star break. So they're going to have to get that up against the Steph Castles, Dylan Harpers of the world. Obviously, taking San Antonio, I'm not a fan, but I respect what they've done over there. Or I guess right over, they're our neighbors. They're an hour away from us. So I respect that. Best team in Texas this year. Can't really fade Wemby. If Wemby's on the team, the Suns front court, again, Ryan Dunn, I love you. Mark Williams, I love you. You're not going to be able to get it done, man. I think also Iguodaro as well. That's not going to cut it. Wemby just has guard skills. He's going to be around the 3-point line. He's going to be in the paint. He's going to cause problems, and I don't think the Suns are going to be able to reconcile with that. But Dylan Brooks is in the lineup now. He looks good. Him and Devin Booker, I'm sure, can win a game. I think it'll be a gentleman's sweep as well.
Yeah, I'm leaning that as well. Obviously, Devin Booker's been having a great year as well, but it's kind of hard to really bet against them and the Spurs and Wemby whenever he's on the court. You know, they've just been playing incredible. Even when he's not on the court as well, it seems like they just know how to obviously play defense, you know, whenever Wemby is and isn't in their lineup, but just what they've been able to do, the role players and their 3-point shooting has been remarkable this year. So I got the Spurs in a gentleman's sweep as well in this first round matchup.
There it is, people.
Yes, sir. Going into the next one. So obviously the standings have kind of flip flopped these past or within the past day. So since we recorded on Monday, but in the 3-6 matchup, we have the Nuggets going against the Timberwolves. The Nuggets are 51-28 and currently are third in the West. They lost their tiebreaker to LA, but that's, you know, we talked about it earlier, Z. You don't really know if that's gonna really make a difference. But you know, Jokic leads Denver, averaging 27 points per game, 12.9 rebounds per game, and 10.9 assists per game, a triple-double. Denver ranks first in the NBA in offensive rating this season, scoring 120.8 points per 100. The Timberwolves, on the other hand, they are 47-32, and they are currently sixth in the West. And Anthony Edwards leads Minnesota, averaging 28.5 points while shooting 40% from three. The T-Wolves also rank fifth in the NBA in defensive rating, only allowing 112.1 points per 100. The Nuggets, hold up. The Nuggets are 16-8 since the All-Star break. Denver ranks third in the NBA in offensive rating during that stretch, scoring 120.4 points per 100. Minnesota, they sorry.
You're good.
They have struggled since the post All-Star break, ranking 18th in the NBA in net rating over that time with a minus 0.8. The T-Wolves do rank 8th in the NBA in defensive rating and will have to keep a stout defense to thwart Denver. This matchup is interesting. Obviously, you know, before it would have been the Lakers versus Timberwolves, but now with the Nuggets versus T-Wolves, this is going to be a good one, man. Honestly, I think this is really going to be a good matchup. Could potentially go 6 to 7 games, honestly, because we've seen what Ant could do going against the Nuggets as well in
Gobert and Jokic.
Jokic matchup. We're going to see the Ant versus Jaden McDaniels as well. So, man.
Hey, Peyton Watson, bro. I'm not going to lie. Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon. It's too much for the T-Wolves. Like, this is not a good matchup for them. I think Jamal Murray and Jokic are going to be averaging 50 points combined. So you got 50 right there. If you get a good game from AG and Peyton Watson and Christian Brown, like, I don't know, man. Like you're saying, it could be 6 games or it could be a sweep. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling either way. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, I think the main thing that comes up for us is, you know, is Dante DiVincenzo for the Timberwolves. Is he going to be playing like how he has been? Julius Randle as well. We've kind of seen he has had moments these past couple seasons. He's been playing with Minnesota that he has turned into a lot better player in the playoffs. But will that continue on? And I think we know what we're going to get from Ant, so that's not really the question for me.
The problem.
It's more so of everyone else. You know, we know Rudy Gobert's going to be able to play good defense, but going against Jokic, we've seen what that turns out to be. So leaning towards the Nuggets. I'll say Nuggets in 6. I'll say I think Ant could get him 2 games, but I don't know if it's going to be as close of a series as I'm thinking in my head, just because of what you said. Jokic and Jamal Murray are going to do what they've been doing in the playoffs for the past 3-4 seasons.
They did bounce him. So
they did.
There's that. Like, Ant definitely got him. So he kicked him out the playoffs last year. He was talking hella mess, so we will see. I got the Nuggets in 6. If it were to start today, I just believe in Nikola Jokic. You read off his stats, man. He's averaging a triple-double. He's the only player to do that since Jokic.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you just give me that guy. I feel like the Nuggets are also playing really good basketball post All-Star break, and especially this last month. So, shout out Denver, man. But, yeah, Now LA is in the fourth spot, like you had said. We're 50-29. Luka Doncic has transformed the Lakers. He's injured, but he's transformed the Lakers for sure, averaging 33.5 points per game to go along with 8 boards and 8 assists this season. The Lakers also ranked 9th in the NBA this season in offensive rating, scoring 117.1 points per 100. The Rockets, they're still the 5 seed. They're 50-29 as well. 5th in the West. Kevin Durant is averaging 25.9 points per game, plus Alperen Şengün is averaging 20.6 points per game. That's a lot of points combined. Again, I'm nervous that even with LeBron in the lineup, this matchup is not going to be the matchup that we had in March where Kevin Durant can't get past the double. It's going to be a way different story, but that's neither here nor there. Houston ranks 8th in the NBA in offensive rating, scoring 117.2 points per 100, and 6th in the NBA in defensive rating, allowing opponents to score 112.2 points per 100. Houston is also 7th in the NBA net rating with a plus 5.0. The Lakers are 17-9 since the All-Star break and ranked 11th in the NBA over that span in net rating with a plus 4.6. The only problem is LA will be missing Doncic and Reeves for this playoff matchup, swinging the favor greatly towards the Rockets. Unfortunately, that's what happens whenever your 2 best players are out. I think the Rockets are both the Rockets are 16-8, sorry. And they rank 11th in defensive rating since the All-Star break, allowing just 112.7 points per 100. Durant and Şengün versus LeBron James. It should be fun to watch. Can LeBron James turn back the clock? We will see. I don't know if we're going to get 2016 Bron, but you can't count out Houston, obviously, with that much firepower. Reed Shepherd. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I would take Houston right now. I think Ime Udoka is going to have a game plan for guys like us. We don't have a ton of initiators outside of LeBron James. That's going to be a major problem. They got Amen Thompson, who I haven't brought up yet. Him, Shepherd, Durant, Şengün are all capable of initiating offense. It's not looking too good, man. As of now, I'd say Houston in 6 or 5 games. I think LeBron can win us a game, and maybe if Luke Kennard gets hot, another game. But that's it, honestly, for being truthful. So that's the playoff picture as of now. We'll see if we continue to drop in the standings. JJ Redick had that run in with Vando the other day. Things are they look like it's a disaster. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Rockets as well. I think LeBron can get you one game, but like you said, are you going to be able to make it a competitive series? I don't think so, sadly, just because of y'all being down y'all's 2 best players. Not counting out LeBron, it's just going to be tough for him. Like you said, when you have point of attack defender and Amen Thompson, and LeBron is really the only initiator. So it's going to be tough for them to get their offense going. But, like you said, Luke Kennard can have a game, and Bron can turn down the clock, hopefully.
Maybe, man. I appreciate it, CJ. Maybe. You're giving us too much props, man. It's Houston, I don't think is a great team, but they're way better than us because they're healthy and they're kind of getting hot right now. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I think the Wild West is the Wild West for a reason. I think any series is there's a potential upset. All these teams are capable, and yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs, man. It starts next week.
Yeah, bro. It's what we've been waiting for all year. So I'm excited for it, and hopefully we'll see what these matchups end up looking like, man. I'm excited to see what it looks like to play in too. It could mix up.
I think the Warriors got it in that though. If Curry's there, give me the Warriors versus the Blazers. I think the Warriors are 10 and the Blazers are 9. The Warriors are 37-42. The Blazers are 40-39. So right there, if the Warriors are able to win their last couple games and the Blazers drop, we'll have to see if that's even now they're going to be a little bit higher than them. Give me Steph Curry. I think Draymond Green, Pods, the veteran pedigree is going to be on full display in that game, but they're going to have to win a second game if they want to get into the playoffs. Which I don't think is going to happen versus either the Clippers or the Suns. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. But was there anything else you want to say before we wrap up this one?
Nah, bro. Just make sure you guys stay tuned because, these playoffs are right around the corner. And if you haven't been watching the games up until this point, I'm going to say it right now. These will probably be the best playoffs you've seen in the last decade, you know, since 2016, that finals run, that Cinderella run by LeBron James. I'm predicting it now. I just think there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. So, you know, stay engaged, keep being great. We appreciate you guys, man. Sorry about the TD.
Yeah. Well, if y'all liked and enjoyed this episode, 3-Man Weave, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.
3 man,
3-Man,
3
3-Man,
man, 3
3-Man,
man, 3
3-Man.
man.